Alright folks, the question is this part possible to model in FreeCAD? The answer is up to you. If you can come up with a better workflow than this, now would be a good time to hit pause if you're following along at home. Alright, so I'll start in the part workbench with a new sketch in the right view. And create a new line. And create another an arc from 3 points. And create another line and just close it off. Something like this. I'm going to dimension that off at 3 millimeters and dimension off this at 7.5 millimeters. And we want tangency between here and here. And we want perpendicularity between here and here. Alright, that one's done. Start a new sketch in the right view. We're going to snap a couple of construction lines, 45 millimeters and 30 millimeters long. You can dimension this one off at 7.5 millimeters and dimension this one off from here at 8 millimeters. We want both of them to be construction. Now we will create a arc from the center, starting at this point here, going up to here. Create a new center point arc from there to there, and then just close off our geometry. Now we want a new construction line on the right hand side. We want it to be tangent with this one. We will dimension this off at 3 millimeter radius. We want these two to be tangent, these two to be tangent, these two to be perpendicular, these two to be parallel, and we will dimension off this at exactly 15 millimeters. Looking good so far. Next we will revolve our two sketches. The first one using the z-axis. Our second one using a reference line. Okay. Now we'll pop into the draft workbench and make a pair of clones from these. Clone the first one. Clone the second one. Now we can hide our originals. The lower one, which is our first one, we want to scale it in the X direction. We'll bring up our formula. We want exactly 10/15ths, which is 6/7, bruh! Click off of that and we'll shrink it. Now our top one, we want to be 35/30ths, which is 1.17. Alright. Now we'll go back into our part workbench. Create a new sketch on the top face of the lower part. We will duplicate that sketch. And then we'll create a new sketch on the, we want to reverse that mapping. Create a new sketch on the lower face of the upper part. And we will bring in our inside circle. Now we have this stack of sketches, but sketch 2 needs to be brought up using our attachment offset about 0.1 millimeters for tangency. Now we'll create a simple loft using 2, 3, and 4. Looking good. We'll hide our sketches, and we want to shift select those 3 parts, and we will union them together into a fusion. Now the fun part is to add a fillet. Of 7 millimeters. Now that's pretty darn close, guys. That's about as close as you can expect to come, I think. It's cosmetically close. Functionally, I don't know about, but anyway. It's supposed to be a 30 millimeter fillet on the inside. I don't know exactly what radius these are, but it's pretty close. Alright, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.